First updated numbers show 1 in 4 Ohioans has at least started the vaccination process.
And later today, the number of vaccinated people in the state is expected to pass 3 million. But in Cuyahoga County, we are starting to see disparities in who is getting vaccinated and who is not.
News 5's Jordan Vandenberg is at the Wolstein Center to break down the data.
The mass vaccination site here at the Wolstein Center has received rave reviews, and it's vaccinating close to 6,000 people per day. But despite that surge in the number of vaccinations within minority communities are struggling to keep pace. Ending the pandemic is a numbers game. More people, more needles, more vaccinations. But what appears to be lacking is more reach.
All of these things have to come into play when we talk about access. So we have to look at every single iota.
Yavanka Hall is the executive director of the Northeast Ohio Black Health Coalition. She's also a COVID survivor.
I had COVID. This is day 50, so I am a long hauler.
And she says the pandemic has not only created inequities, but also exposed them.
COVID, if it was a light to be shown, it's shown it on everything that African Americans have been literally screaming about for years. But we didn't have to scream anymore because COVID did the screaming for us.
The data has been screaming too. As of Wednesday, only 12.75% of African Americans, or about 48,000 people, have been vaccinated. Vaccination among whites is over 29%. Roughly 20,000 people have marked unknown or other. Improving these numbers was one of the key reasons that local and state leaders recommended the Wolstein Center as the mass vaccination site.
25,000 people live within 1 mile of this site. Nearly 45% of these 25,000 citizens live below the poverty level, and 66% are in medically underserved communities.
With the whole vaccination rollout, we have to let them know, like, if you thought that was a light that was shown that was on the glaring inequities, then the vaccination rollout should tell you that there is also a glaring inequity in access.
News 5 has requested the vaccination demographics data specifically for the Wolstein Center, but after 3 days, ODH is still working to provide it to us. County and city leaders have arranged free transportation through RTA for people to get to the Wolstein Center, and Hall says the data clearly shows that even more outreach is needed.
Whether it's changing who is at the table, adding people to the table, creating a new table, like, something needs to be done to make sure that the voice of the voiceless is heard. And right now, with the numbers, it tells us that the only voices that are heard are the poor people who have access.
Again, we're still waiting on that data from the Ohio Department of Health for the demographics for the vaccinations being done here at the Wolstein Center. Those free bus passes can be made available through 211. In Cleveland, Jordan Vandenberg, News 5.
Our thanks to Jordan for shedding a light on that. And now keep in mind the state and Cuyahoga County also have plans to make sure everyone has equal access to the vaccine, including holding some of the appointments at the Wolstein Center aside so people can turn to the community groups that they already trust to book those appointments. There are also plans to bring the vaccines directly into underserved communities through mobile clinics.